Thank you very much, Stephen. Well, we are talking mining this evening. Coal miner Exxaro Resources has reached an agreement with Transnet to tow a minimum of 60 million tons of coal for its year to end March 2023. Transnet hauled 58.3 million tons of export coal in its 2022 financial year. That is 20% less than its target. The problems with Transnet network has meant that local coal miners have been missing out on the coal price boom in the wake of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Earlier in August, Exxaro cut export production guidance for its 2022 year by 13 million tons, also saying rail issues cost it 2.5 billion rands in income in its first half, just less than a tenth of its total. The state-owned logistics firm had lifted force majeure on 9 coal exporters in July after it started talks with them over new contracts. Roy Mutuni weighs in on the latest agreement.
You remember, Transnet had basically said, we're going to force majeure, which means we can't keep our promises. Right now, Transnet basically say, okay, rather than what we used to promise 77 million tons a year, what we're going to guarantee is that we can transport at least 60 million tons, up from the 58 million that they transported last year. So it just means that there's a little bit more certainty. It's not a guarantee that we'll be able to satisfy all the demand out there at these really good prices for coal, but it means that at least they have some visibility as to their ability to track coal, particularly to export destinations. So not the news we're expecting, but not the good news that we wanted, but at least it's a step in the right direction. At least they're shipping stuff around.
One of those coal producers that have cited Transnet Freight Rail's challenges as having had a negative impact on income is Exxaro Resources, which has reported a 26% increase in half-year profit driven by higher coal prices. The miner says its headline earnings per share, the main profit measure for South African companies, was at 34.26 per share in the 6 months to June 30. Exxaro declared an interim dividend of 15.93 rand, lower than the 20.77 rand it announced for the first half of 2021. Riaan Koppeschaar is the financial director at Exxaro, and he joins us now to unpack their particular performance. Riaan, thank you very much for joining us. You've performed quite well in the first part of the year, including cost containment measures leading to this great financial performance, but that has again been impacted by the challenges that you have faced at Transnet Freight Rail. Tell us about those and what you've had to do to circumvent that.
Thanks, Zulani. So, firstly, we're very pleased about the record performance, and as pointed out, it's a combination of factors. It's the high coal prices, but also very good price realization from Exxaro. So with the limited rail capacity, we were able to put the high quality products on the trains, and by doing that, realizing a premium price. Now, you would have seen we've exported 2.5 million tons. So on an annualized basis, that is 5 million tons, although we hope we should be able to step it up in the second half of the year. In 2020, we were able to transport or export 12 million tons of coal. So as a result of the challenges on the rail, we need to make alternative plans. We are exporting through alternative harbors like Maputo, and we even in some instances railing coal to other sidings to enable us to export, and also selling more coal domestically to parties that have got access to export capacity.
So let's talk about where, as Exxaro and a huge supplier to Eskom, when it comes to coal, where do you see the coal price going in the second half of this year? Because at $300 per ton, they are at quite a high prices, and the market is actually wondering where these prices are going.
Yeah, it's difficult to forecast exactly. But I think while we still have the energy crisis, especially in Europe, and with the standoff between Ukraine and Russia, that these prices will remain elevated. If you look at the market commentators, they are predicting that for the balance of this year, we will definitely still see very strong prices. And then in 2023, they could moderate a bit, but still higher than levels in the past. So we think we should be in pretty good shape at least the next 18 months based on the current shortage of energy that we are experiencing in Europe.
And tell us a little bit about your investment in Sishen Iron Ore, how that has done, because according to your own report, there has been a drop in income when it comes to that particular investment.
So we're at 20% shareholder in Sishen Iron Ore Company. I think in 2021, the iron ore prices were fairly high. So over the last couple of months, as a result of the economic conditions in China, the iron ore prices have started to moderate. And as a result of that, the profitability resulting in us to get a smaller dividend from Sishen Iron Ore Company.
You have also announced today that you want to make your inroads into green hydrogen, and you've already made some serious investment when it comes to Synergy, your subsidiary when it comes to renewable energy with plants mostly in Mpumalanga. You must have welcomed the announcement by the President a few months ago, raising that self-generation for companies and individuals. It means a lot for coal producers like yourself. But tell us about these plans that are at their infancy when it comes to green hydrogen.
Yeah, so green hydrogen, I think there's quite a lot of development that still needs to take place. So, for instance, what you can do also to decarbonize your operations is to fuel your trucks with hydrogen. A prototype of that truck is in development. But apart from that, green hydrogen will also require renewable energy. So there could be potential for us as a renewable energy generator to then produce energy to produce green hydrogen.
Mr. Koppeschaar, before I let you go, something that is also important is your partnership with the Youth Employment Service. You have been one of those companies that have been involved in trying to create jobs, particularly for young people. You announced that you are upping the ante in that regard. What are your plans?
So we've, over the last couple of years, have been involved in what they call the YES program. What we are doing is we've got a new implementation partner that we're partnering with. And obviously the objective of the program is to, especially in our local communities, to give more opportunities to the youth to be gainfully employed and to participate in the mainstream economy. And definitely it's something that we want to build on in future.
Riaan Koppeschaar is the Financial Director at Exxaro Resources. Thank you very much, sir, for your time, telling us about their 6-month performance and the plans to create more jobs for the youth in South Africa, as we know that the country has one of the highest rates of unemployment in the world.